Hi, this is BJ Cure. It is Thursday, January 12th, 2017. It is a beautiful, sunny, snow-covered day in Portland, Oregon. And this is one of my first video blogs. And really the reason I wanted to do this is, there's been a lot of earthquake awareness, I guess, in the last couple of years. A lot of people have realized that, there is a threat of a large earthquake in the Pacific Northwest. And there's like a lot of just, fear about it. A lot of people doing a lot of different things, buying earthquake insurance, storing up food and water, maybe retrofitting their home, moving away possibly, I don't know. But so there's really, I think there's a lot of confusion about what to do and a lot of overwhelm. And so really the reason I'm doing this is I want to be a source just to help you know what to do, and even in like what order to do them. Should I store up a little food first? Should I think about my house and make sure that there's nothing that's going to fall on my head? And yeah, if you have like a large, painting or something over your bed, probably should move it so it doesn't fall on your head while you sleep. So that's a very easy thing you could do. But that wasn't the point of this. So kind of I want to be someone that can tell you what to do in what order, and that's not what I'm going to do in this video. But I wanted to introduce myself. Today we got 2 nights ago. It's like it says Thursday. On Tuesday night and then Wednesday we got a ton of snow. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit because it's kind of a reminder of how important preparedness is. Whenever this happens in Oregon, it's like it might as well be Florida. And like if you live in Portland or Seattle or any of the West Coast cities, really, we just are not used to getting snow at all. Maybe just a little bit, a couple inches that melts the next day, but we don't know how to drive in it really. Anytime something like this happens, we got 11 inches of snow here in Beaverton. Like I said, 2 nights ago and yesterday morning, and just shuts everything down, and you see lots of abandoned cars everywhere. Power goes out. Power went out at a few places. People are, trying to rush to the stores, sliding all over the place, getting in car accidents. And so it's kind of this reminder of the importance of having just a little bit of food and water stored up, some blankets, that kind of stuff. Of course, I think everyone knows this. I mean, I think FEMA recommends 3 days of food storage for your home. So, but I guess my point is, if we get the big Cascadia earthquake, most of the problems with that are going to be with the aftermath, not so much with the shaking itself, although that could be problematic and will be for some people. The shaking will be very strong. If you're in a new house that's well built, you'll be fine, as long as things aren't falling off your walls and hitting you. You drop, cover, and hold, you'll make it through that. But what's going to happen afterwards is, in the current situation, at least, that we're in Oregon, we might have power out for 1 to 3 months. That's what the conclusion of the Oregon Resilience Plan is. And that was written, that was a study done concluded in 2013, that in the Willamette Valley, they said we would likely be without power 1 to 3 months, without water, 1 to 6 months. And that is a big deal. That has a lot of implications. And so I'm actually recommending that people have a month worth of food stored. And I'll go into that in later posts. And my idea, and this is what I've done, I just finished this last fall, is I basically did a week of food planning, like a menu for a week, and I just repeated it for 4 weeks. And it's a menu that is fairly easy to make, fairly nutritious. But I'll go into that later. Where was I? Yeah, there's a 37% chance, they're saying, of an 8 or a 9.0 earthquake in the next 50 years occurring off the coast of Oregon and Washington. that 37% is for an 8 or a 9, an 8 being a partial rupture of the subduction zone, which would start on the southern half and would make southern half. Basically the beginning of the subduction zone is just off the coast of Northern California, and that has a history of more earthquakes. So kind of this partial rupture of the subduction zone. So the big one would be if the whole thing ruptures. That's in the history of the earthquakes that they've had in the past. It's happened a little more than half the time, so it might be more like a 20% chance of that happening. But anyway, those are high odds. If you're going to live in the Northwest for a long time, you have to think about this, because it's going to be a big deal when it happens. And kind of the point I want to make in this video is that you think about, I guess, preparing for this big earthquake has side benefits. You'll be prepared for any other kind of high impact event that could happen. And it's not like we should be afraid of. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen, right? But we don't want to live in fear, but we don't want to live in ignorance either. And so storing up some food and water, even if you think a month is extreme, just do a week. I mean, most people don't even have that. Most people don't even have a few days that like FEMA recommends. And it's not just food and water. Sanitation is a huge issue, because you won't have the water to be able to clean your dishes and take showers and bathe, and you have to think about the toilets aren't going to be working. So there's a lot to think about. Having some mobility, having some items in your vehicles, having a plan on how to get home if you're out at work somewhere. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about how this kind of snowstorm is a good reminder of our need to be prepared, and it's kind of fun, but also causes a lot of problems in cities like Portland and Seattle when we do get these kind of big snow events. Anyway, that's it for now, and I will talk to you soon.